in mind, guys, I've mentioned many times before, I'm a big Lords of the Fallen fan. Okay, massive Lords of the Fallen fan. I played the original Lords of the Fallen, and then I played the remake, the reboot, whatever you want to call it, of the same namesake, but obviously different game. I played both of them, and I love the Lords of the Fallen series. I absolutely love the series. It's great. My biggest issue with this video game was the fact that they were going to make Lords of the Fallen 2 exclusive to Epic Games. Okay? This has been my only criticism of the developer of the video game, of any of that. This was my only criticism of it because it was a major slap in the face. It was a major slap in the face, and I stand by that. I stand by because you are running a social media campaign where you're trying to be for gamers, gamers first, all this stuff. You're running these social media campaigns, but then you're saying that you're exclusive to Epic Games. And then to make it worse, the CEO of Lords of the Fallen 2 also ran this entire damage control where people were confronting him about Epic Games, and he was like, oh, well, according to the numbers that I've seen, Epic Games, if a game is exclusive on Epic Games, it sells just as well as anywhere else if it's exclusive. And I'm like, brother, really? You're trying to convince us of that bullshit when it's been proven that video games that are exclusive on Epic Games are literally dead until they release on Steam and then they blow up, or they at least sell way more copies on Steam than they ever did on Epic? It's complete lies, right? So anyway, I am happy to tell you guys that something that we theorized a couple of months ago when we found out that they were trying to raise about 27 some odd million dollars in capital. They were trying to raise money, and they raised it through their shareholders through some sort of agreement. And we were theorizing what that almost $30 million could be for. And one of the theories was that they could be raising money to try to buy themselves out of exclusivity with Epic Games. Well, come to find out today that that's exactly what happened. So we're going to read his actual response, but I'm happy to tell you early on that Lords of the Fallen 2 is now going to be releasing on every platform that it possibly can, including on Steam, on day one, because they bought themselves out of their exclusivity agreement with Epic Games. So the post from the CEO, Marek, says the following. Lords of the Fallen 2 important publishing update. Independent developer CI Games today announced that it has signed a separation agreement with Epic Games Publishing. As a result, CI Games has regained full open distribution rights for the PC version of Lords of the Fallen 2, moving away from the previous PC exclusive publishing arrangement signed in June of 2024. Now, keep this in mind, guys. I find this to be kind of hilarious because what they basically did, it's kind of genius. I'm not going to lie to you. What they basically did is they used Epic Games as a hooker, like a cheap hooker. You probably thinking, oh, they made a mistake, but they actually didn't. Here's what they did, or here's what I think they did. Okay, that's what I'm going to say. Here's what I think they did as I'm reading this and understanding it, because I've been checking this out all day. What they essentially did was they didn't have the money, they didn't have the funds, and they didn't have the capital to essentially create Lords of the Fallen 2 the way that they wanted to. So they ended up signing a deal with the devil. They signed a deal with Epic Games in order to get the capital and get the money to work on the game in the way that they wanted to make it. They managed to then have the game funded in the way that they needed to so that they could work on the game the way they wanted to. Then they had a plan to run a social media campaign, essentially bolstering Lords of the Fallen 1, making all these changes, doing all this gamers first stuff. They got a huge amount of sales on Lords of the Fallen 1 twice over. They ran 2 campaigns for Lords of the Fallen 1, and they raised a lot of money with the sales from that game, and they utilized that plus raising money with shareholders to buy themselves out of Epic Games, and now they could release their game everywhere while also having goodwill from Lords of the Fallen 1 because they fixed the game and added so many things and improvements with Lords of the Fallen 1 that is now going to transfer into goodwill into Lords of the Fallen 2. Pretty interesting shit, I'm not going to lie to you. They basically utilized Epic Games as a cheap hooker to get their game made, and then they left them. Now, keep in mind, they didn't leave them completely. They're still going to release the game on Epic Games. But that's pretty freaking interesting. That's an interesting choice to get your game made in a certain way. But anyway, so let's check this out. If you look down, it says Lords of the Fallen 2 remains scheduled to launch later this year on PC via Epic Games Store and other PC storefronts, as well as PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S. CI Games will self-publish the title across all platforms, while PlayOn continues as a global physical distribution partner. CI Games will continue to utilize Epic technologies, including Unreal Engine 5 and Epic Online Services, powering cross-platform play, matchmaking, friends listen, seamless shared progression co-op. So they're still working with Epic Games, at least from the standpoint of, I guess, online play or something along those lines. Like they're still working with that. So at the end of the day, they're having some level of partnership with Epic Games. They're having some level of partnership where Epic Games is going to make money from them in some way, shape, or form. I'm sure that whatever they signed off on, they probably signed off some sort of royalty or whatever the case would be. They definitely signed off on something, which is pretty cool. Now, like many in the industry, CI Games face challenging market conditions. Oh, fuck, I hate this term. I hate this term. It's such a bullshit term. Challenging market conditions. Market conditions. Everybody says market. What does market conditions mean? It means something different for everybody saying it. Literally everybody saying it. It means something totally different. But anyway, CI Games face challenging market conditions in 2023 and 2024, and Epic Games provided significant funding and strategic support that helped ensure Lords of the Fallen 2 could fully realize its ambitions. That's exactly what I said, by the way. This partnership enabled CI Games to meaningfully expand upon community feedback from the original Lords of the Fallen, while substantially advancing the sequel across gameplay, tactical performance, world design, and online functionality. So for those of you that are in the chat, they were like, this sounds very conspiratorial. This is literally what I just told you. They utilized Epic Games to realize their vision on the second game, while they were utilizing their own resources in order to run social media campaigns to promote and fix and help the first game, to garner goodwill with gamers for the eventual lack of exclusivity and releasing it everywhere. That's what I think is happening here, right? So Epic was there for CI Games exactly when we needed them most. Their support and belief in the project made a real difference, and for that we are truly grateful, according to Marek Tymiński, CEO of CI Games. Epic has been an outstanding supporter of Lords of the Fallen 2. With Unreal Engine, EOS, and the rest of Epic's world-class technologies, we're going to ship a performance game in a massive world that players can explore together across PC and console. With the new agreement now in place, Lords of the Fallen 2 will launch with open PC distribution on day one, including the Epic Games Store. Guys, that is just amazing. That is honestly incredible. I look at this again. My only criticism of this developer, of this studio, of this game was that it was going to be exclusive to Epic Games. Nobody wanted that, right? Especially since you guys ran social media campaigns promoting Lords of the Fallen 1. You were fixing it based on player feedback. You were doing all these things, and those players were buying the game on Steam. They weren't buying it on Epic Games. So how fucked up would it have been if they were buying your game after all this promotion? They bought your game, they bought into the series, only to find out that they're not going to be able to play the second one because it won't be on Steam. And most of them are not going to be going over to Epic Games to go buy the sequel. Most people were not going to do that. Like, I know people like Atreus were going to do that and shit like that, but most people were not going to do that. Right? So that was going to be a really big fuck up if they were going to go through with that. But luckily enough, they were smart enough to not do that. So, because I'll tell you right now, if Lords of the Fallen 2 was exclusive to Epic Games, that shit would have took forever to make its money back. Just like it took Alan Wake forever to make its money back, it would have took this game forever to make its money back. You know, so at this point, I think that Lords of the Fallen 2 has garnered enough goodwill that I was going to buy day one anyway if it was coming out on Steam because I have to review the game. If it was coming out on Epic day one, I was not buying it. Plain and simple. I was not buying it. I was not going to review it. I'll let like Atreus do it or whatever if he wants to do it. But since it's coming out on Steam, I'm absolutely buying it day one because I love the franchise. I think it's a great franchise. And the second game did look good. It absolutely did look good. So I'm excited for it, man. In all actuality, I mean, while we're on the subject, let's just fucking check it out. Let's check it out. Lords of the Fallen 2. For those of you that may not know or have seen any of the gameplay, let's check it out. We might as well. Here's a gameplay trailer. Fuck it. Let's do it. We're doing it live. We're doing it live.
Lamp bearer. One must travel many paths on the road to salvation. Paths through light. Paths through shadow. I will walk them with you, wherever they may lead, no matter the cost.
It's a sin.
You see that 007? That's called blood. That's the thing that happens whenever you get hit with something in the face. Whenever you get hit with something in the fucking face. This looks right up my alley. It is. I'm telling you. When I tell you that my disappointment knew no bounds when I found out that they were going to be Epic Games exclusive, I got to tell you, man, like my disappointment was immeasurable. And people were like, "Oh, you just want to hate on video." Shut the fuck up. All right, I played the Lords of the Fallen that most people don't even know about. All right, so don't fucking tell me, "Oh, I just want to hate on things." Shut the fuck up. All right, because most of the people that say that shit, they don't even know about the Lords of the Fallen that existed before the Lords of the Fallen. They don't even know about it. So I don't want to hear that shit. Right? But I love this franchise. I really do. I love Lords of the Fallen. I think it's great. I didn't like the lamp mechanic too much in the second one, to be honest with you. But aside from that, it's a great series. I do like it. I really don't know why, to be honest with you. I just do. I just like it so much. Anyway, let's continue. I like what I see.
I ever do, every place I've ever been, everywhere I'm going to.
Father, forgive me.
Nice.
Wish list now.
Nice.
Lords of the Fallen version 2.5 with all new veteran mode out now.
Yeah, I never got to play 2.5. Play has no limits. That's not true. Play does have limits. 15 days. I'm just kidding. Yeah, no, I'm excited for this shit, man. I'm excited. I might have to jump back into Lords of the Fallen, the first game, and just kind of play through it again, especially with all the updates and shit. I never touched it with all the updates because I'm like, why would I do that? Your second game's coming out on Epic Games. I don't give a fuck. No matter how much I love the game, I'm not buying it on Epic, plain and simple. But this absolutely looks amazing. I'm excited for this. I cannot wait. And now that I know it's coming out on Steam, we are gooted, boys. Straight up, we are gooted, man. We are gooted. This shit looks good. Looks real good. We'll see how it goes. Yes, Grim Harvest. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. All right, let's continue, guys. I just wanted to cover that. I'm so happy about that. You have no idea.